my second ASMR video. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the vintage lamps I have in my bedroom. We'll start with this one. This is a mid-century lamp. It's got this nice fabric shade. With this nice texture to it. The shade is original. You probably can't see, but it's also got this nice blue border. Oh, hold on, we have a visitor. Hello, Pikachu. Hello. Adorable cat. It's my cat Pikachu. So, the lamp also has this nice oak base to it. It's a really cool round shape with these little indentations. And it's sitting on this nice bamboo 60s bedside table. Pikachu is investigating. So the next lamp, well, there's a few going on in this area. Hold on. So I have some LED strip lighting, which you'll be quite familiar with on YouTube. It's pretty popular. I've hidden it behind this keyboard so you can't really see, but it basically appears just beyond this ridge here. And I can control it with this remote control. So you can turn it off, turn it on, and adjust the temperature. Not temperature, sorry, the intensity. It can go quite bright, but I prefer to keep it about there, nice and mellow. So the next lamp that I want to show you is this wall sconce. Now, this is actually a combination of two different pieces. So this first, this bit here, this is teak wood. Oh, turned my keyboard on by accident. This is teak wood, and it's got this nice original switch. This is also again from the 50s, I believe, like most of my lamps from that period. It's very satisfying, and it's got this seagrass shade. Seagrass is a natural material. Apparently it's quite eco-friendly, and it diffuses the light beautifully. I want to be gentle with it because it's a little bit fragile. My tummy just went then. And yeah, so this shade was new, so when I got this wall sconce, it didn't have a shade, so it was a bit cheaper. But I wanted to get a natural material for the shade, but also something a bit different from what I already had. So this was perfect, and it works. I think the combination works really well. You'll notice that the wall sconce is not wired in exactly. This is because, well, partly because it's not built into the wall, and also because of the position. If I stand back, you can't really see the wiring because it's sort of positioned so that it kind of runs behind the keyboard, so that works quite well. And it all just goes into that little extension plug. Anyway, so those are the first three lamps. Now this is the fourth lamp. This is a 50s lamp, and it's made of copper. it's got this really nice pattern to it. It might be easier if I turn it off. So it's got one of these. These are 50s or sort of mid-century switches. So normally we would have a switch nowadays where you kind of turn it, flick it one side to turn it on, flick it to the other side to turn it off. But these ones I quite like. You just press the button once and it goes off. Press it again and it comes back on. But yeah, so it's got this material inside, almost like card or paper, but sturdier. And it's also got this pattern, this kind of like circles that spin round. And you can kind of see they start here and then they work their way outwards. And the pattern crisscrosses with these holes in the copper really nicely. One thing I didn't mention, I often think a lot about the placement of my lamps. So I tend not to put, if I'm putting a lamp on a certain surface, I like it if they're kind of either contrasting materials or contrasting colours or textures. So the lamp over there that I showed you before, that's wood, kind of a darker oak wood on a lighter bamboo, and it's also on a paisley fabric, so there's a nice layer of contrast there. And here, I think the copper, which is a much firmer, kind of like harder material, in terms of like the texture, not just the actual like hardness of the material itself. And I think that contrasts nicely with the more natural, slightly softer texture of this oak bedside table. I should just point out, the light is just below this moon mirror. It's a bamboo moon mirror that I'm really happy with. So I think they work together very well. But yeah, so that is the fourth lamp. The next one is a bit different. It's a reading lamp. So I try and make my lamps quite distinct from each other. Just wandering over the bed. So this is a very cool lamp. It is, I think, Danish. I got it on Etsy. The other lamps I got on eBay. And you can move it around from side to side. It's got a nice sturdy mechanism and you can twist it. And then I've just run the wire so that the switch is here. And the wire is just going down into an extension lead below the bed. But yeah, this is an oak lamp. It's very sturdy. It's really nice wood. A very nice texture on there. I don't know if you can hear the tapping. And this really nice patterned lampshade as well. This is an original lampshade. So you can see you've got lines going one way, over like that, and then another way, over like that. Now, my friend Ed drilled the holes for this, so shout out to Ed. He's also training as an electrician, so he'll be able to help me rewire some older lamps, which is cool. And it's also got this this nice little rim on the inner side of the lamp. My stomach keeps rumbling. Now I went for an incandescent bulb here rather than an LED bulb, because with light bulbs that are a bit more exposed, I find LED lamps can be a bit too bright, and I prefer the look of the incandescent bulb. LED bulbs are kind of solid and have like even when they're turned off, Unless you're dazzled by my lamps, in which case, and how beautiful they are, in which case, I will appreciate that. This is the, well actually I'll just show you this lamp. I was going to say this is the final lamp. So, I wasn't going to count this lamp because I don't really use it. I don't use it because I didn't really think about this, but because it's got a blue shade of sorts. I mean, it's a kind of glass mosaic shade. It lets out quite a cold light, which I didn't really consider. But I do like the texture of it, and this is a Turkish lamp, so quite ornate and interesting. But yeah, I just kind of have it here for decorative purposes. So, the final lamp that I'll show you from this room, I've got it on this floating bed. Well, it starts at the bedside table, even though it's not by my bedside. So this is a very cool lamp. It's got a kind of chrome. Sorry, don't know why the video started doing that. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. It's got this chrome kind of body to it, and then it's got this tinted glass frame, shade, sorry. Now, I can touch this lamp, but the funny thing is, if I start tapping it, it will come on, because that's how it's built. So there's no switch on this one. You can tap any of the either this surface or this surface, and it turns the lamp on like that. Now there are 3 settings for how bright it is. This is the lightest setting. If I tap it again, it will become brighter. If I tap it again, it starts flickering. I don't know why that is, but people have told me that often happens with lamps that are dimmable in this way. Oh, it's going a bit out of focus. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's the final lamp. I hope you've enjoyed the lamps in this room. Pikachu has disappeared, but I'll just show you. So this is how they look, and I'll just say, you might be wondering what is in this box. So these are 2 vintage 70s lampshades. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. And these are going to go in my hallway. So yeah, maybe when I've got those fitted, I'll show you how they look in the hallway. The hallway's coming along nicely. I have a nice rug, and I'm getting this mid-century mirror that has a lamp attached to it. So I've managed to get a lamp in my hallway, even though there aren't any flat surfaces that I could put a lamp on. So I'm very pleased with myself. I will update you on that as it happens. But yeah, as you might have gathered, pretty enthusiastic about lamps, particularly vintage lamps, hence the name of the channel. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about my lamps in my bedroom. There will be more videos to come. I have more lamps in my kitchen I'm looking forward to sharing. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Please do like and subscribe and leave a comment. Perhaps you could tell me what your favourite lamp from this video was. Thanks a lot.